next webinar.
Is 1353.
Swagatam. We would like to welcome you all in AYUSH Samriddhi's 1353 webinar on RO water. Today is Water Day. From last 3 years, we are conducting webinars on the conservation of water, the revival of water locations, water bodies. But now, this year, a new topic, because we are not dealing directly with those water bodies. In our houses, in our homes, we are directly dealing with RO. Whatever the water is, our RO is the same, the system is the same, demineralizing power is the same, wastage of water is the same. So definitely, whether it is harmful for our body or whether it is nectar for our body, because now Kagan water, I can't pronounce it clearly, but that water is also in the market after RO water. And they are just criticizing the system of RO because they have superior system developed for the water purification and demineralization, and again the addition of minerals in water for the body. Very absolutely a new technology. But today our topic is RO water, what we all are using at our homes and houses, whether it is positive or negative on our health. So on this topic, I would like to invite first of all Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji, ex-principal, Government Ayurvedic College, Guwahati, for his welcome words.
Namaskar. Good evening to everybody, respected distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to this AYUSH Samriddhi International Conference Series. Today we have RO water, nectar or poison, most essential subject we have to know regarding these things. So in this webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee, Associate Professor and HOD, Department of Education, School of Humanity, Sikkim Skill University, Bolpur. Namaskar, madam, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Soikat Kumar Basu, Executive Research Director, Performance Seed, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Namaskar, sir, and welcome you to this AYUSH Samriddhi webinar. Once again, I welcome all the eminent speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this AYUSH Samriddhi important webinar on RO water, nectar or poison. Thank you. Namaskar. Over to Pavanji.
Thank you very much for your kind words, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, ex-principal, Haridwar Ayurved Medical College, Haridwar. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Pavan Sharma ji. Thank you so much. And I welcome all both the guest speakers of today's this very burning topic. Our Dr. Sekat Basu ji and Dr. Suparna Sanyal Mukherjee ji. The topic is very, very important because the day is very important. Had been yesterday that World Water Day. Now you see, any creature on the world, on the earth, is always in need of water, and without water, life is different. Life is difficult. So, except the human beings, all the creatures are getting water in whatever quality it is available naturally. It is the human being which are going through so many type of experiences to make the water potable or to make water drinkable. So from the time when it is started, our human being came to know that it is polluted, and then afterwards it is contaminated. Number of resources and remedies came forward to make the water potable with the help of the bleaching powder, with the help of the potassium permanganate, with the help of the other type of filtration, and three pitcher system was very early one, which was including charcoal and sand and all that. And then came the advanced era where we started having this filters. And in case of filters, so many filters were there with the help of the permuted method or the simple methods, and ultimately that led to the ozonization, chlorinization, ozonization, UV rays, and then ultimately reverse osmosis system, RO system. So this RO system carried us to that extent where we are getting the water, of course, good in drinking, but bad in disturbing of all the status of our health, in personal, particularly in the terms of the bones density and all the our biochemical or the blood components. So it is an alarming to see that to which extent RO water is to be consumed by the human beings, or it should be avoided. Simply boiling it can make the water safe and potable. Rest of us today's scientists are going to inform us the merits and demerits of RO water, so whether it should be continued in use or not. Thank you so much. And with these remarks, I send back to Professor Pawan Sharmaji for the invitation of our guest speakers. Thank you.
Now I would like to request Dr. Sakat Kumar Basu from Alberta, Canada, for his valuable words. And I'm confident, as he is the special, unique, means creative person, definitely he will guide us. Today, no time limit. Time is until Suparna ji comes, and 2 webinars we are having. So we would like to request him to conclude within 15 minutes, but no time limit. Thank you. Sakat Basu, welcome.
Thank you, Pawan ji. To give madam a little time to connect with us, can you run the World Water Day video that I made? Like if you run it.
Sure.
वो वर्ल्ड वाटर डे वाला वीडियो और एक बार भेज दूं?
नहीं
आपके पास है ना वो? हाँ, थोड़ा वो अगर हम थोड़ा रन कर दीजिएगा तो सबको लाइक वर्ल्ड वाटर डे का इंपॉर्टेंस जो इन जनरल है, उसके बाद तो हम इसके बारे में बात करेंगे ही.
वीडियो कम
नहीं तो मैं आपको एक बार, मेरे पास ही है, मैं आपको एक बार भेज देता हूँ, कोई बात नहीं. मैं अभी आपको सेंड कर देता हूँ, आप एक बार थोड़ा उसे रन कर दीजिएगा.
डाउनलोड कर
नहीं, डाउनलोड करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. मैं अभी आपको फॉरवर्ड कर रहा हूँ. शर्मा सेंड कर दिया है. कुछ देर बाद आपके पास शायद पहुंच गया है. कुछ देर आपके दोनों एड्रेस में, दोनों व्हाट्सएप में भेज दिया मैंने. डिलीवर्ड हो गया आपके.
डिलीवर्ड हो गया, वो बस वो यहाँ से व्हाट्सएप
ये वो जो देख रहा है ना, वही जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ. आपके पास जो वीडियो दिख रहा है वो वाला.
जी हाँ, उसी को डाउनलोड कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ ठीक है,
डाउनलोडेड कर दिया.
ठीक है. द रीजन फॉर द लाइक, जब तक वो रन होता है मैं थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड में कर लेता हूँ कि वाटर तो इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल कंपोनेंट ऑफ लाइफ. लाइक ना, every cell has to survive with water. Without water there is no hope for our to survive on this planet, and our planet is known for having water. सारे solar system के अंदर this is the only planet where we have detected water. Now with NASA, ISRO, everyone is working on the Earth satellite like Moon or like on the Mars. There are evidences of frozen water at some point of time in geological history, that there were water there possibly at some point of time. Now that has been frozen. शायद वो frozen ice जैसा बन गया है. uh, but this is the only planet where we have this Amrit Sudha, without which life could not sustain anywhere in the world. No matter how much development we make, or whatever modifications we changes or additions we make into our life, this is something that is so important for our virtual existence that we simply could not live without water. And one of the most important thing is, for most of us, surviving in country where there is adequate supply water, we do not even value water. Like, someone is brushing the teeth, we have this habit of the tap running out. While we are shaving, we are having the tap running. And at the same time, there are other parts of the world where people are using sand instead of water for washing or cleaning their hands and stuff. आ गया ना शायद?
आ तो गया है, लेकिन इसका ये आवाज भी नहीं आ रही है और ये क्लिक नहीं हो रहा है, तो
डिस्प्ले नहीं हो रहा है फॉर सम रीजन.
ये देखिए,
हम्म
डिस्प्ले तो हो रहा है लेकिन ये आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा है.
नहीं, फॉरवर्ड नहीं हो रहा है. हाँ, मतलब फुल तरह से डाउनलोड नहीं हो रहा है. फॉर यही तो इंटरनेट का प्रॉब्लम होता है ना. तो कोई बात नहीं, डाउनलोड होता है तो अच्छा है.
नहीं, ये
लाइक
देखिए, इतने पे ही रुक जाता है. मैं खोलता हूँ इसको, ये
फॉरवर्ड
देखिए,
नहीं हो रहा है. नहीं नहीं, डेफिनेटली
ये देखिए.
डेफिनेटली. मैंने आई हैव सीन दिस बिफोर आल्सो, लाइक ये समटाइम्स इट डज नॉट डाउनलोड. तो कोई बात नहीं, नो नो प्रॉब्लम. So what you are talking about, that this water, Amrita Sudha, is so much important for the sustenance of life, but we are not valuing it. There is no water meter in the country, and we are indiscriminately using. As we have recently seen, cities like Karnataka, Chennai are suffering. Like, why Karnataka is suffering from water loss, huge scarcity of water, particularly in Bengaluru, where the price of the property is going down very fast because they could not sell buildings and apartments as there is acute shortage of water. So living conditions are limited. And at the same time, if you will see that there has been unprecedented flooding and raining in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, where there is so much adequate abundance of water that they are having high trouble in maintaining city life and city parameters and city regulations for sustaining to cater to the people. So ek taraf, on one hand we have abundant supply of water, where we are unable to store and use that water when we are water deficient, and at the other point we have used up water so much that we are blaming ourselves now that the value of the property and the quality of life is going down. No matter how many skyrises you build, unless you have water, or whether it is for industrial purpose, whether it is for domestic use or for agricultural purpose, you simply cannot survive without water. It is the elixir of life. So one of the most important lesson for the World Water Day today is that they are talking about water for peace and prosperity. Why we are not just talking about water for life, why we are talking about water for peace and prosperity? It is because of the fact that water is now the source of various major conflicts around the world. As you could see, between India, Pakistan, India, China, India and Bangladesh, we are having rivers that travel through multiple countries. And as people or these individual countries are not sharing this water, following a proper treaty, they're building dams, they're restricting water, they're diverging water for various purposes. China has emerged out one of the killers. They are making such huge dams on the Brahmaputra river that is on the Chinese part, that it is quite dangerous that down the line, the lifeline to the Northeast Indian Bangladesh may be heavily impaired. And there is no international laws or regulation to restrict upon China. There is nothing that you could do. You can take the case to the International Criminal Law Justice in Hague, but it results in nothing because the rules are not abiding to anyone. You can lose the case, but but the court cannot impose any serious implications through their judgment. So this is a very crucial period along the world geopolitically. So that is the why that the World Water Day has been talking about, saying that water is for peace and prosperity. Every country needs to understand that where we have shared international rivers that are passing through multiple countries, multiple localities and multiple populations are dependent on it, it is the responsibility of each one of us to be meticulous and be respectful to each other's need and share that common resources. Because if we do not share with the other neighbor, the same could happen with us, with the other neighbor, that could harm us, because we are setting up a precedence where water is being used as a bargain chip in many conflicts. And the United Nations and other international agencies are very, very worried that down the line, this could be a very serious bargain chip, in the sense that people will blackmail another country, blackmail another community, blackmail another population by holding or restricting potable or drinking water. We are talking about reverse osmosis technology and other various other modern technologies for water purification, but at the same time we are worried that this is that even whether we would get the water to survive in various cities and towns, that because we are constructing such megalomaniac structures down on the upper catchment areas of many rivers, as China is doing, it could change the course of the river, it would reduce the life of the river, it could alter the pathways of the river, reduce the flow of the river, or during flood time, if they open the floodgates, it may result in massive flooding in Assam and adjoining Bangladesh down the line. India, Bangladesh has been worried, but China is China. It's an extremely belligerent and dangerous country. I consider China to be the global enemy, and they are doing everything that they could do on their part to harm India. We blame about Pakistan. Our biggest and greatest enemy is that what we are sleeping with is China. This is a very, very dangerous country that we are residing beside. Whether it is soft border that they could poke through, whether this is river, whether there is money wise, whether that is land wise, it is a very, very serious issue that the government of India and the people of India needs to think about and build sustainable long-term strategies to deal with these challenges. Once they block our water, there is very little that we could do. It is time now to put pressure on them, put deterrents on them, so that they are afraid of India or of international pressure and does not do those harm. Otherwise, it would destroy the entire Northeast Indian water supply and a vast chunk of India through drying up the Brahmaputra. China can do anything that is harmful, unimaginable, to harm any other country, to feed it to their ego, to feed to their own purpose. Extremely selfish, extremely detrimental, extremely dangerous country. And with the new amount of excess money they have in their hand, they can do anything stupid. I mean, everyone who does stupid thing has to pay in the long run, but we will be suffering first. So it is very important for India to look into that. And this is the reason that we are talking about the World Water Day, about peace and prosperity by using water. And this is not the case that is only happening in case of India. Multiple rivers, even if we look into the Kaveri river, has been going on for a long time between interstate rivalry and interstate conflict that has gone to the high courts, the Supreme Courts, and whatnot. So water is going to be one of the very crucial natural resources that is going to be bargained, and we are at a very risky edge of our existence where we may or may not be able to handle this very successfully. So this is a very, very challenging affair that on the basis of World Water Day, that each of one must be very, very, very serious about that. This is a very challenging thing that we are facing at this particular moment of time. So with these words, let us move to RO water, or reverse osmosis. Just to highlight what reverse osmosis is, it is nothing but a very simple water treatment process. It removes impurities and other contaminants from water by making it potable, by forcing them out through a semi-permeable membrane. This membrane allows only pure water to pass through and leaves behind dissolved salts, minerals, and other impurities. It is now commonly used for both domestic and industrial purpose, for the purpose of purification, and it has been used extensively. The working principle involves that the reverse osmosis usually works by applying a high pressure to water, which is then forced through a semi-permeable membrane. The design of the membrane only allows pure water molecule to pass through. Larger molecules do not pass through it, such as salts, minerals, and other contaminants. Now, this is the core technology that we are talking about, and we are saying only water molecules are passing through these specific semi-permeable membrane, nothing else. No salt, no ions, no impurities, other chemical contaminants are being held back. But if the semi-permeable membrane is not of that good quality, if we are making degraded quality of semi-permeable membrane, if we are not changing the semi-permeable membrane after a few rounds of use, or the quality of material of the semi-permeable membrane or the mesh size of the semi-permeable, if these are the places where we have made modifications or we have made it shortcuts, then this water is going to cause problem, because then it is not purified properly. Water is fed into the reverse osmosis system and it passes through a pre-filter, first to remove large particles such as sediments and chlorine. Then it is pressurized by a pump and forced through a semi-permeable membrane. The contaminants and impurities are then trapped on one side of the membrane, while pure water molecule can pass out through the other side. This is the role of semi-permeable membrane that we have started from standard 10, that it only allows certain molecules while holding back other molecules. The purified water is then collected and stored, and the rejected water is discarded. Reverse osmosis effectively removes technically a wide range of contaminants, including various salts, minerals, bacteria, and organic pollutants. This is the nature, this is how it works, and this is how it should work. Now, one of the important process that we need to understand is between osmosis and reverse osmosis. What is osmosis? Osmosis is actually a natural process where water molecules move from high to low concentration. This is to equalize the solute concentration between two solutions separated by a membrane. We have studied this in chemistry, biology, and physics from standard 9, 10 throughout our college life. And reverse osmosis, on the other hand, is the opposite of osmosis. People mix it up. It uses external pressure to force water from high concentration to low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Now, if that pressure is not applied, if that pressure is not present, definitely the system is not going to work efficiently. And in many of the so-called efficient machinery system, these things are not working possibly, or they have been compromised. If this is compromised, then there will be definitely movement of toxic metabolites, toxic materials across the membrane. The external pressure overcomes the natural osmotic pressure and drives the water molecules through this membrane, leaving behind dissolved salts and other impurities. This is the natural technology. So osmosis is actually a passive process, while reverse osmosis is a very, very active process in the purifications of water. What are the advantages of reverse osmosis? First of all, it is water purification, and it is not just for domestic water. It is even used in industrial grade scale for various removal of sewage and other toxic metabolites and materials from water. It effectively removes many impurities and contaminants from water very efficiently and results in production of clean and safe water. It is a very highly energy efficient process because they are really energy efficient compared to other water purification method, and hence it is also cost effective. The initial investment in RO system can be higher compared to other methods, but the long-term cost of this reverse osmosis method is comparatively low compared to all other conventional and non-conventional methods that are used for industrial scale cleaning of water. But it does not also always require a frequent removal of filters and semi-permeable membranes. But at the same time, I would suggest that if the quality of semi-permeable membrane is not good, or if the semi-permeable membrane is a fake membrane, it does not attribute the real properties of a semi-permeable membrane, then we are calling for danger, because then the water is not going to be purified. Overall, reverse osmosis, based on extensive research, is indicated to be a reliable and efficient method for producing clean, safe drinking water, potable water, making it a popular choice of water purification all over the world. But there are disadvantages, and the disadvantages are what? That RO system can be very expensive to install initially for very large scale application. If we are setting up for an entire building, entire system, it is quite costly. But once established, it could retain and work functionally accurately for a long time. It requires regular maintenance, including proper filter change and membrane replacement. Now, this is a very important aspect of the RO technology. I am repeatedly saying that this is a good technology if you follow the maintenance procedure. The reason that we are having water which are uncontaminated, even coming through the reverse osmosis process, is not the process to be blamed. It is the people to be blamed for providing substandard semi-permeable membrane, for poor maintenance, not replacing the membranes of the filters, not maintaining the proper pressure, or the motor is very old, or the machine parts are very old. If these things are not maintained efficiently and effectively, then reverse osmosis cannot work effectively, as it is based on this pressure gradient that reverse osmosis act. It is not osmosis, it is the opposite of osmosis. We need to remember, we are using a force to push the molecules across a semi-permeable membrane that is supposed to retain everything else, allowing only pure water molecules to pass through. But just think about a football field, and you have this football net, say for the goalpost, and the net is a particular size through which the football cannot pass through. Think about the football as contaminants, as organic molecules, as other ionic molecules, salts, impurities present in the water. If it is at the size of the football or larger than the size of the football, it cannot pass through the safety net. It cannot pass through the particular size of the mesh size of the net that covers the goalpost. But only a particular size, a smaller. So if you pass through a golf ball, if you allow the golf ball to pass through the net, let's think about the golf ball as a water molecule. It is supposed to pass through. So every other footballs, cricket balls, softballs, soccer balls, everything, hockey pucks, everything you push against that goalpost, the net will prevent everything. It should not allow anything to pass through other than golf ball, because it is smaller than the size of the mesh. And let us, if this golf ball is equivalent to a water molecule, so this water molecule is going to the other side and you get the potable water. But because of the compromises being made and the mesh size, say if the net is torn, so if the net is torn and there are big holes in it, then the football, if you are shooting a player, it can pass through that net. If there are tatters and torns, if the quality of net is very, very poor, then if through weathering, through heat, rain, and other process, it becomes very fragile. So if you are shooting a football, if you are shooting a baseball, if you're shooting a puck ball, they will hit, they will rupture, and they will come onto the other side. So golf ball will pass, and through these bigger holes and ruptured holes, other balls will also pass. So if we look into this analogy, we'll understand, unless we maintain and have those filters properly changed and maintain the quality and cost of those filters and the semi-permeable membrane, RO renders into a useless system. So it is not the system to be blamed. It is the maintenance and the quality compromises that we are doing. So once this semi-permeable membrane is degraded, or the semi-permeable membrane is not properly maintained, or there is ruptures on the semi-permeable membrane, or the size of the pore or the mesh size of the semi-permeable membrane provided is not of the quality grade that can retain other molecules and allow only water molecules to pass, then we will see all kinds of problems and everything breaking hell, and we are having this significant problem in dealing with the challenges of these parts. So unless these technology part is taken care of, RO is bad, and then all the impurities move through. So most researchers indicate that it is the faultiness of this RO method, or the lack of maintenance of pressure, the poor quality of the membrane and stuff, when the RO system does not work, and then you are landing up with contaminated water. It is not the reverse osmosis process to be based. It is just a physical process that has been discovered. So through this, so this is good and bad. So it is nectar in one way, and poison in the other, in the same way that unless we maintain the system, it is going to be a detrimental part. So there is a lot of controversy, there is a lot of compromises various companies make in trying to make reverse osmosis system cheaper. Once they're making it cheaper, they're compromising on the quality of the semi-permeable membrane. They are replacing the high quality semi-permeable membrane with poor quality ones, and then we have this disastrous impact. With this, I conclude my part of the water day lecture. But allow me some time while you talk. to see whether I can connect with Madam and see where she is. I'm not sure whether she has been able to join as yet. May I, Professor Sharma? Like while you discuss, let me try quickly to check with the phone whether she has been able to join, because she's traveling from Orissa to Bengal, as I know. She's traveling from Sambalpur to Howrah. Hello.
Yes, you can please make a contact if it is possible.
Okay,
then she will
I'm
be
trying to
invited.
reach her. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yes, excellent,
Make
Dr.
the
Sagar Basu. You have really great knowledge and explanation power all. Beautiful. क्या कहते हैं अग्निहोत्री सर?
जी, wonderful. Just to continue the discussion, as
निशांत
he is
शुक्ला जी
making.
से भी आरओ वाटर के रूप में यदि अपन ले लें सलाह, निशांत जी हमारे साथ।
हम अपने आदरणीय प्रोफेसर निशांत शुक्ला जी को इनवाइट करते हैं कि वहाँ गुजरात में साबरमती नदी के अलावा जो जल घर में पिया जाता है उसकी क्वालिटी किस स्तर पर है, और उसके लिए आपका आरओ का संसाधन उपयोगी या अनुपयोगी के रूप में आज हमारा चर्चा का विषय है। अपने विचार दिए। इसी बीच हमारे साथ हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म से अपने डॉक्टर रामपाल सोमानी जी जुड़ गए हैं। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आपका। आपके भी विचार आमंत्रित हैं और प्रोफेसर शुक्ला जी को हम आमंत्रित करते हैं कि अपने आरओ के यूज के संबंध में इसकी मेरिट्स डिमेरिट्स क्या कुछ है वो बतलाने की कृपा करिए। स्वागत है। अनम्यूट कर लीजिए। अनम्यूट करेंगे। और मैडम सुतपा वर्धन जी भी हमारे साथ जुड़ गई हैं, उनका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
Agnihotri ji, I tried to contact Madam, but I think because she is traveling on a high-speed train, I think she's having trouble in getting an internet network. So let us continue our discussion. Whenever she can join, she will make her part. And even we can move to the next our next item too, if you want. After our
Thank you.
yeah, wherever she will be able to join, she will talk about both things. Yeah.
एक बार निशांत जी से केवल कंक्लूजन ले लें।
Sure.
उसके बाद हम नेक्स्ट वेबिनार में चेंज कर रहे हैं।
Sure.
जी आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगी? आदरणीय डॉक्टर रामपाल सोमानी जी स्वागत है। निशांत जी स्वागत है।
नमस्कार सर। नमस्कार सर। मैं अभी थोड़ा जो है ये नेटवर्क का इश्यू एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा हूँ। मैंने इसका पहले का वक्तव्य सुना आरओ के बारे में। आरओ सिस्टम काफी जो है यूजफुल है और खास करके
फिलहाल आपकी आवाज आ रही है, आप बिल्कुल विजिबल भी है, तो आप अपना नक्शल में बतलाइए कि आरओ की मेरिट्स डिमेरिट्स क्या है आरओ वाटर की, और उससे यह जरूरी है। वैसे तो वाटर सेविंग जरूरी है, फिर भी कैसे करें और क्या उसकी मेंटेनेंस आती है आरओ की, जो भी बताइए।
काफी सारी जो है ये बातें जो है वो रखी है। आरओ का बेसिकली यूज कहाँ पर होना, उसको जस्टिफाई उसके आधार पर करना ये ज्यादा अच्छा है, ना कि आरओ सिस्टम को ब्लाइंडली इंस्टॉल करना। जहां पर ग्राउंड वाटर का यूज हो रहा है और वो भी लेवल 2 और लेवल 3 का ग्राउंड वाटर जहां पर है, वहां पर अगर आरओ सिस्टम्स का यूज करते हैं तो दैट इज द बून। जहां पर ये सॉल्यूट कंटेंट्स ज्यादा होते हैं वहां पर आरओ सिस्टम जो है ये काफी जो है ये इफेक्टिव रहता है। ये बैक्टीरियल मेम्ब्रेन्स को बैक्टीरियल प्योरिटी मेंटेन करता है, प्लस मेटल और सॉल्यूट कंटेंट्स को भी जो है ये कंसिडरेबली रिड्यूस कर देता है, जो आगे जाकर के डिपॉजिट्स के रूप में किडनी में कर सकते हैं। पर जहां पर टैप वाटर का यूज होता है, रिवर वाटर का यूज हो रहा है, जहाँ की वाटर की क्वालिटी कंटेनमेंट्स कम है, वहां पर आरओ सिस्टम एक जो है अगर उसको इंस्टॉल किया जाता है तो दैट इज अ कर्स, क्योंकि जो एसेंशियल न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं ये इसमें लॉस साथ में होता हुआ देखा गया है। और उसके कारण विटामिन बी डेफिशिएंसी आज बड़े शहरों में जहां पर वाटर सप्लाईज जो है ये काफी हद तक ठीक है, यहाँ पर हम विटामिन बी डेफिशिएंसी, न्यूराइटिस की कंडीशन, न्यूराइटिस की कंप्लेंट्स हमको जो है वो देखने को मिलती है। इंडाइजेशन के प्रॉब्लम्स मिल रहे हैं, डाइजेस्टिव रिलेटेड इश्यूज हैं। तो ये सभी जो है ये कहीं ना कहीं एक थोरो स्टडी करने की जरूरत है और उसके ज्यादा एविडेंसेस भी कलेक्ट करने की जरूरत है। ये प्रोबेबली ये वाटर के कारण होते हैं, जो मिनरल्स, एसेंशियल मिनरल्स भी लॉस हो रहे हैं, जो पानी के माध्यम से मिलते थे, वो लॉस होने के कारण ये प्रॉब्लम होते हुए देखे गए। हाँ, देहात में जहां पर सैनिटेशन, ये वाटर रिसोर्सेस या फिर प्योरिफिकेशन प्लांट नहीं है वहां पर, या फिर जहां पर ग्राउंड वाटर ही यूज हो रहा है, हिली एरियाज में जहां पर मेटल सॉरी मिनरल कंटेंट जो है वो ज्यादा होते हैं, वहां पर इसकी उपयोगिता डेफिनेटली जो है ये ज्यादा है उस सिस्टम की। जो टेक्निकल मेजर्स सर ने बताए, मैं उन चीजों को रिपीट करना नहीं चाहूंगा कि इंस्टॉल कर लिया उसके बाद जो है वो वाटर लॉस को रेगुलेट करना, उसके फिल्टर्स को मेंटेन करना, तो ये सभी जो है ये मेंटेनेंस के पार्ट है। तो इसके लिए सर ने काफी डिस्क्रिप्टिव डिस्क्रिप्शन जो है ये दिया है, एंड दैट इज वेरी मच इंफॉर्मेटिव, सो आई नीड नॉट टू ऐड एनीथिंग इनटू दैट वन। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर फॉर गिविंग मी द चांस टू स्पीक ऑन दिस इशू। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू सो मच। और सही कहा आपने, अगर मेम्ब्रेन सही काम करती रहेंगी तभी आरओ का इंस्टॉलेशन और उससे प्राप्त होने वाले जल में हमें ठीक ठीक लगेगा। अन्यथा उस पर भी उसका टीडीएस वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा नहीं घटा देना चाहिए, 100 से हमेशा अबव ही रखना चाहिए, और रेगुलर उसकी मेंटेनेंस जरूरी है। उस हद तक तो ठीक है, अन्यथा जैसा आपने कहा कि आज के युग में जब भी हम विटामिन डी का कराते हैं या कैल्शियम कराते हैं तो हम पाते हैं कि कम है। इसीलिए विटामिन बी कॉम्प्लेक्स और विटामिन डी ये सब जो कम आ रहे हैं, इसका एक बैकग्राउंड में अगर देखा जाए तो इसका हेतु, इसका निदान जो है वो हमारा आरओ वाटर या फिल्टर्ड वाटर ही है, जो बहुत सारी पॉजिटिव चीजें भी पानी से ले लेता है। अथवा
हमारे साथ
फॉल्टी
रामपाल
टेक्निक।
सोमानी जी हैं।
जी,
रामपाल सोमानी जी कुछ 5 मिनट बोलना चाहे। इन द मीन टाइम आई एम चेंजिंग द लिंक।
आइए आइए, डॉक्टर रामपाल सोमानी जी, आपका बहुत बहुत वेलकम में बहुत स्वागत है। बड़ा कॉमन सा विषय है आज हमारे पास, आरओ वाटर के क्रम में मेरिट्स एंड डिमेरिट्स। आपके विचार आमंत्रित हैं, स्वागत है आपका। आप अनम्यूट करके कुछ अपने जानकारी हम लोगों को दीजिए। डॉक्टर रामपाल सोमानी जी, आदरणीय डॉक्टर रामपाल सोमानी जी, स्वागत है। क्या हुआ, लिंक जुड़े हुए तो हैं? ऑडियो नहीं, ऑडियो नहीं जुड़े इन लोगों के, सविता के भी नहीं जुड़े, रामपाल जी का ही नहीं जुड़ा हुआ, ऑडियो नहीं जुड़ा हुआ है। डॉक्टर रामपाल जी सोमानी साहब का ऑडियो नहीं जुड़ा हुआ है। सविता का भी नहीं जुड़ा हुआ है। चलिए आप स्पीच चेंज करिए, हमारा यही था कि और ज्यादा लोगों से भी और अच्छी जानकारियां मिल जाती। हाँ, मैडम सुतप्पा वर्धन जी कुछ कहना चाहेंगी? इज शी कंफर्टेबल? शी मे आल्सो ऐड ऑन समथिंग रिगार्डिंग द पोटेबल वाटर
नाउ आई एम
एंड
चेंजिंग द लिंक ऑफ नेक्स्ट वेबिनार।
ओके ओके, चेंज करिए और अगला फिर टेकअप करते हैं। IRES 232024।
नमस्कार जी, आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत। अभी एंड कर लेने दीजिए ये आरओ की वेबिनार और नेक्स्ट वेबिनार शुरू कर।
1354